Islam. It is August the 1st, 2018. First, I'll be reading from the Holy Quran of Mecca, the Fatiha. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Praise be to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Merciful, Master of the Day of Acquittal. Thee do we serve, and thee do we beseech for help. Guide us on the right path, the path of those upon whom thou hast bestowed favors, not those upon whom wrath is brought down, nor those who go astray. Alright, I will be continuing and finishing Chapter 8, Voluntary Gifts, Section 4, Muslims to be guardians of the sacred mosque. O you who believe, if you keep your duty to Allah, He will grant you a distinction and do away with your evils and protect you. And Allah is the Lord of mighty grace. And when those who disbelieve devise plans against thee, that they might confine thee, or slay thee, or drive thee away, and they devised plans, and Allah, too, had arranged the plan, and Allah is the best of planners. And when our messages are recited to them, they say, We have heard. If we wished, we could say the like of it. This is nothing but the stories of the ancients. And when they said, O Allah, if this is indeed the truth from thee, then rain down on us stones from heaven, or inflict on us a painful chastisement. And Allah would not chastise them, while thou wast among them, nor would Allah chastise them while they seek forgiveness. And what excuse have they that Allah should not chastise them while they hinder men from the sacred mosque, and they are not its true guardians? Its guardians are only those who keep their duty, but most of them know not. And their prayer at the house is nothing but whistling and clapping of the hands. Taste then the chastisement because you disbelieve. Surely those who disbelieve spend their wealth to hinder people from the way of Allah, so they will go on spending it. Then it will be to them a regret. Then they will be overcome, and those who disbelieve will be gathered together to hell. That Allah may separate the wicked from the good, and put the wicked one upon another, then heap them together, then cast them into hell. These indeed are the losers. Section 5. Barter as a sign of the Prophet's truth. Say to those who disbelieve, if they desist, that which is past will be forgiven them, and if they return, then the example of those of old has already gone. And fight with them until there is no more persecution, and all religions are for Allah. But if they desist, then surely Allah is seer what they do. And if they turn back, then know that Allah is your patron, most excellent the patron, and most excellent the helper. And know that whatever you require in war, a fifth of it is for Allah, and for the messenger, and for the near of kin, and the orphans, and the needy, and the wayfarer. If you believe in Allah, and in that which we revealed to our servant, on the day of discrimination, the day on which the two parties met, and Allah is possessor of power over all things. When you were on the nearer side of the valley, and they were on the farther side, while the caravan was in the lower place than you, and if you had tried to make a mutual appointment, you would certainly have broken away from the appointment, but in order that Allah might bring about a matter which had to be done, that he who perished by clear argument might perish, and he who lived by clear argument might live, and surely Allah is hearing, knowing. When Allah showed them to thee in thy dream as few, and if he had shown them to thee as many, you would certainly have become weak-hearted, and you would have disputed about the matter. But Allah saved you. Surely He is knower of what is in your breast. And when He showed them to you, when you met, as few in your eyes, and He made you to appear few in their eyes, in order that Allah might bring about a matter which had to be done, and to Allah are all affairs returned. Section 6. Success does not depend on numbers. O you who believe, when you meet an army, be firm, and remember Allah much, that you may be successful. And obey Allah and His Messenger, and dispute not one with another, lest you get weak-hearted, and your power depart, and to be steadfast. Surely Allah is with the steadfast. And be not like those who came forth from their homes, exceedingly, and to be seen of men, and they hinder people from the way of Allah, and Allah encompasses what they do. And when the devil made their works fair seeming to them, and said, none among men can overcome you this day, and I am your protector. But when the two armies came in sight of one another, he turned upon his heels, and said, surely I am clear of you. I see what you see not. Surely I fear Allah, and Allah is severe in requital. Section 7. Enemy strength weakened. And when the hypocrites and those in whose hearts is a disease said, their religion has deluded them, and whoever trusts in Allah, then surely Allah is mighty, wise. And if thou couldst see when the angels caused to die those who disbelieve, smiting their faces and their backs, and saying, taste the punishment of burning. This is for that which your own hands have sent on before. Because Allah is not in the least unjust to the servants. In the manner of the people of Pharaoh, and those before them, they disbelieved in Allah's messages. So Allah punished them for their sins. Surely Allah is strong, severe, in requiting. This is because Allah never changes a favor which He has conferred upon a people until they change their own condition. And because Allah is hearing, knowing, in the manner of the people of Pharaoh, and those before them, they rejected the messages of their Lord. So we destroyed them for their sins, and we drowned Pharaoh's people, and they were all wrongdoers. Surely the vilest of beasts in Allah's sight are those who disbelieve, then they would not believe. Those with whom thou makest an agreement, then they break their agreement every time, and they keep not their duty. So if thou overtake them in war, scatter by them those who are behind them, that they may be mindful. And if thou fear treachery on the part of a people, throw back to them their treaty on terms of equality. Surely Allah loves not the treacherous. Section 8. Peace to be secured by strength. And let not those who disbelieve think that they can outstrip us. Surely they cannot escape. And make ready for them whatever force you can, and horses tied at the frontier, to frighten thereby the enemy of Allah, and your enemy, and the others besides them, whom you know not. Allah knows them, and whatever you spend in Allah's way, it will be paid back to you fully, and you will not be wronged. And if they incline to peace, incline thou also to it, and trust in Allah. Surely He is the hearer, the knower. And if they intend to deceive thee, then surely Allah is sufficient for thee. He it is who strengthened thee with His help, and with the believers. And He has united their hearts. If thou hadst spent all that is in the earth, thou couldst not have united their hearts, but Allah united them. Surely He is mighty, wise. O Prophet, Allah is sufficient for thee, and those who follow thee of the believers. Section 9. Muslims to meet overwhelming numbers. O Prophet, urge the believers to fight. If there be of you 20 steadfast, they shall overcome 200. And if there be of you 100, they shall overcome 1,000. And those who disbelieve, because they are a people who do not understand. Now Allah has lightened your burden, and He knows that there is weakness in you. So if there be of you 100 steadfast, they shall overcome 200. If there and if there be of you 1,000, they shall overcome 2,000, by Allah's permission. And Allah is swift to steadfast. It is not fit for a prophet to take captives, unless he has fought and triumphed in the land. You desire the frail goods of this world, while Allah desires for you the hereafter, and Allah is mighty, wise. Were it not for an ordinance from Allah that had gone before, surely there would have befallen you a great chastisement for what you were going to do. Eat then of the lawful and good things which you have acquired in war, and keep your duty to Allah. Surely Allah is forgiving, merciful. Section 10. Relations of a Muslim state with others. O Prophet, say to those of the captives who are in your hands, if Allah knows anything good in your hearts, He will give you better than that which has been taken from you, and will forgive you. And Allah is forgiving, merciful. And if they intend to be treacherous to thee, so indeed they have been treacherous to Allah before. But He gave you mastery over them, and Allah is knowing, wise. Surely those who believed and fled their homes, and struggled hard in Allah's way with their wealth and their lives, and those who gave shelter and helped, these are friends one of another, and those who believe and did not flee, you are not. You are not responsible for their protection until they flee. And if they seek help from you in the matter of religion, it is your duty to help them, except against the people between whom and you there is a treaty, and Allah is seer of what you do. And those who disbelieve are friends one of another. If you do it not, there will be persecution in the land and great mischief. And those who believed and fled and struggled hard in Allah's way, and those who gave shelter and help, these are the believers. Truly, for them is forgiveness and an honorable provision. And those who believed afterwards and fled and struggled hard along with you, they are of you, and the relatives are nearer one to another in the ordinance of Allah. Surely Allah is knower of all things. Islam. That was chapter 8 of the Holy Quran of Mecca. Next time I'll be reading chapter 7, the elevated places. Mark this spot. It's a long one. Okay. Really long one. Next, I'll be reading from the Circle 7 Quran, chapter 36, I believe that was that. Yep, chapter 36. Holy instruction from the Prophet, know thyself. Weak and ignorant as thou art, O man, humble as thou oughtest to be, O child of the dust, wouldst thou raise thy thoughts to infinite wisdom? Wouldst thou see omnipotence displayed before thee? Contemplate thy frame. Fearfully and wonderfully art thou made. Praise therefore thy Creator with awe, and rejoice before him with reverence. Wherefore of all creatures art thou only erect, but that thou shouldest behold his works. Wherefore art thou to behold, but that thou mayest admire them? Wherefore to admire, but that thou mayest adore in thy Creator with awe, and rejoice before him with reverence? Wherefore of all creatures art thou only erect, but that thou shouldest behold his works? Wherefore art thou to behold, but that thou mayest admire them? Wherefore to admire, but that thou mayest adore there in thy Creator? Wherefore is consciousness repose on thee alone? And whence is it derived to thee? It is not in flesh to think, it is not in bones to reason. The lion knoweth not that worms shall eat him. The ox perceiveth not that he is fed for slaughter. Something is added to thee, unlike to what you seest. Something informs thy clay, higher than all in the object of thy senses. Behold, what is it? The body remains perfect after it is fled, therefore it is no part of it. It is immaterial, therefore it is eternal. It is free to act, therefore it is accountable for its actions. Knoweth the ass the use of food, because his teeth mow down the herbage? Or standeth the crocodile erect, although his backbone is as straight as thine? Allah formed thee, as he formed these. After them all wert thou created. Superiority and command were given thee over all, and of his own breath did he communicate to thee the principle of knowledge. Know thyself and the pride of his creation, the line uniting divinity and matter. Behold, a part of Allah himself within thee. Remember thine own dignity, nor dare descend to evil or to meanness. Who planted terror in the tail of the serpent, who clove the neck of the horse with thunder, even he who hath instructed thee to crush the one under thy feet, and to tame the other to thy purpose. This song. That was chapter 36, Know Thyself. I'll go ahead and read chapter 37. Holy instructions from the prophet, the breath of heaven. Taunt not thy body, because it was first formed, nor of thy brain, because therein the soul resideth. Is not the master of the house more honorable than its walls? The ground must be prepared before corn be planted. The potter must build his furnace before he can make his porcelain. As the breath of heaven saith unto the waters of the deep, this way shall thy billows roll, and no other, thus high, and no higher shall they raise their fury. So let thy spirit, O man, actuate and direct thy flesh, so that it repress its wilderness. Thy body is as the globe of the earth, thy bones the pillars that sustain it on its bases. As the ocean giveth rise to springs, whose waters return again into the bosom through the rivers, so runneth thy life from thy outwards, and so runneth it into the place again. Do not both retain their course forever? Behold, the same Allah ordained them. Is not thy nose the channel to perfumes, thy mouth the path to delicacies? Are not thine eyes the sentinels that watch for thee? Yet how often are they unable to distinguish truth from error? Keep thy soul in moderation, teach thy spirit to be attentive to its truth. So shall these, its ministers, be always to thee conveyances of truth. Thine hand, is it not a miracle? Is there in the creation aught like unto it? Wherefore was it given thee? For that thou mightest stretch it out to the assistance of thy brother. Why of all things living art thou alone made capable of blushing? The world shall read thy shame upon thy face.